there has been an article that recently circulated online and on different social media platforms, and regarding that a lot of people, even my subscribers and my followers on Instagram, have asked the question that aviation ministry is thinking to mandate graduate degree to become a pilot in India. And many people ask me that is it really true news, and is it really going to be implemented, and is a graduate degree really going to be mandatory to become a pilot in India. So in today's video I'm going to throw in my insights and my inputs and my take on the particular article and the particular news, and I'm going to break down this particular topic, whether graduate degree is going to become mandatory in India or not. So if you are ready, fasten those seatbelts because you're ready for takeoff. What's up, fellow aviators, and welcome back to the FlyTuber, flying simplified through YouTube. My name is Eliezer, and on this channel I talk about aviation facts, aircraft knowledge, how aircrafts work, etc. But sometimes I also make videos busting aviation myths and clarifying aviation doubts, just like in today's video. So if you are new here and are interested in any of those topics, you might want to consider subscribing. Well, on 11th February, the particular article circulated over different social media platforms, on Facebook and different WhatsApp groups, especially these aviation groups wherein there are a lot of pilots, etc. And also on the internet, stating that the aviation ministry mulls, that is, it is thinking to make graduate degree a mandatory prerequisite to become a pilot here in India. Well, I'm gonna first of all share the link to the article down in the description, so you might head over to the article and read it for yourselves. And in this video I'm not gonna read through the entire article, that's up to you. You have to head over to the website to read the article yourselves. But then there are certain key points in the article that I think it's important that I share with you guys. First things first, any article, okay, any news for that matter, if it's trending and most importantly if it is genuine, then there is not just one website or just one journalist or one social media platform that shares the particular article, right? For example's sake, recently about a month back, Air India 176 was a flight that was an inauguration flight, an all-women crew flight that was taken place. It flew from San Francisco all the way to Bangalore, non-stop over the North Pole, etc. I have talked about that in another video. I'll link that up here and also in the description, so make sure to watch that video out. But when you look up Google for that particular news, there won't be just one article or just one website that has shared the particular news. Similarly, this particular news that had surfaced, I couldn't find any other website other than the particular link that I'm sharing, right? Other than that, I couldn't find any other website that shared this particular news. Okay, on Google results also turned out, it showed me different Facebook shares of the same particular article, or there was one website which again redirected me to the same website. What point I'm trying to get to here is that in my personal view, and this is my personal take, it might be the other way around as well, but I think that this particular article might be a fake one. Okay, even if it isn't a fake one, I think maybe the source of this information might not be the true source, and sometimes journalists or some websites come up with the certain situations or news. It might be one of such cases. Now let's think that okay, this news is actually genuine. Okay, it's not a made-up story. Even then, if you look at the article, it doesn't seem to me very professional. Okay, I'm not judging the vocabulary or the level of English of this article here.
English is speaking like a rice plate eating? No, never, not.
But what I mean by that is proper terms related to aviation haven't been used here, okay? If you scroll down and if you yourself follow along in the article, it says somewhere in the middle of the article that the DGCA issues over 16,000 commercial pilots license per year. Come on. I got my pilot's license back in 2018, end of 2018, and my license number was somewhere in the 15,000s. Okay, so I was 15,000 something pilot ever in India. Okay, and right now also the number of pilots, the total number of pilots ever in India stands somewhere in 17,000s. Okay, and this guy says, this article says 16,000 commercial pilots per year. That's insane. So that in itself is an incorrect information. So then certain following information is correct, but then if you go to the last line of the article, it says the entire process from admission to a flying training school to coming on board a flight as its first officer may take at least 5 years into the ecosystem. Come on, at least you shouldn't have used the word at least here, because I myself am a live example. I started my training in 2017 and I was on board with an airline as a first officer in 2019. So 2 years is all I took. And just like me, there are a number of pilots. I myself know a lot of pilots who take 2 to 3 years to become a pilot. Obviously, there are other pilots who take 8 to 10 years also, but then 5 years not at least. Okay, it's people have completed the training and gone on board in as less as 2 years of time. Okay, that's just what I could think of the article. Now, if you shift your focus from the article to the news itself, and you might debate that the news itself might be true and the source of the news might be true. Some person from the ministry would have known the inside news. Let's look at this article and that this news to be a true one, and what all happens in such a case. Let's discuss if this particular news was true news. Okay, first things first. A graduate degree is nowhere related to you flying an aircraft. Like me personally, in my experience of 4 years, about 4 years in aviation, I haven't ever come to a situation and scenario when I was like, oh, come on, man, I should have done graduate degree. Oh, I don't know the answer to this thing. Had I done my graduation, I would have known the answer to this thing. No, come on, okay? There wasn't any situation wherein I regretted that I didn't do my graduate degree, and had I done graduate degree, the lives of passengers sitting behind me would have saved. I would have become a hero, got a medal, etc. No. Okay, there isn't any such situation wherein me or any colleagues or any pilots that I have ever spoken to, they regretted that they didn't do a graduate degree. On the other hand, yes, there are a lot of pilots who themselves are captains. Forget about captains, they are instructors. Okay, they take examinations, they are check pilots. Okay, highest level of very good quality pilots who themselves train others, that they themselves didn't do a graduate degree ever. So basically, what I'm trying to prove here is that a graduate degree is in no way connection or required to become a pilot and become a good quality pilot. It only boils down to the quality of training in your ground school and your flight school especially, and your respective talents. Now let's play with some numbers here. Okay, the world's largest aviation market is United States. The number of commercial aircrafts in the United States stands at somewhere about 7,600 if I'm not wrong. Google it yourself. And the population of United States is 331 million. Now, if another country has much more population, okay, that travels by air also, then what do you think, what should be the number of aircrafts? Obviously more. Now compare 331 million United States population to India. India's population stands at a staggering 1.38 billion, okay? That is more than 3 times that of United States. And if my calculation were right, even if you take 7,000 aircrafts, commercial aircraft in the United States, then India should be having somewhere about 21,000 aircrafts, okay? But are you ready for the number? The total number of aircrafts across all the different airlines combined together here in India stands at about 760, I guess, 700 aircrafts in India. That is it, okay? That's not even 10% of what aircrafts are available in United States. So what do you think? The best answer to this is India may not be the biggest aviation market in the industry and world, but India is the fastest growing aviation industry. That is for sure. You can look it up on Google. India is the fastest growing aviation industry in the world. Fastest growing as in the number of aircrafts are adding up. You can visit the Wikipedia section of different Indian airlines, scroll down to the fleet section, and you can yourself see the number of orders, aircraft orders their airlines have already put in. And if you look, one of the leading airlines in India itself has about 625 aircraft orders. Okay, that's a huge number of aircrafts, and per aircraft, a good average is about at least 12 pilots is what is required behind a single new aircraft that an airline brings in. Okay, now you can do the maths yourselves, which means there is a lot of requirement of pilots coming in the future, 3 to 5 years time. Now there's a lot of requirement of pilots coming in the future. Do you think a country will actually make the situation more worse and more stringent and more difficult for itself by making the situation and making the qualifications, for example, much more stringent? It will only be a chaos, and it will only be a very negative thing for the country itself, because trust me, no country would ever want to bring in resources, be human resources or anything else, from a foreign country. Okay, crude oil, for example. Do you think had India been a producer of crude oil, would it import this crude oil with such huge taxes and etc. from other countries? No, right? Similarly, if India would have the required number of pilots that it wants, would it really outsource and bring in pilots from abroad and from foreign countries? No. When there is a situation wherein India needs a lot of pilots in the future, obviously Aviation Ministry knows its the numbers and the future requirements of pilots that it will have. Why will it even consider making the situation more worse? I personally don't think that any such thing is going to happen. Even if it does, it will be a chaotic thing and a very bad decision. And my personal intake on this news is that I don't really think that any such thing is going to happen, even if the news is true that such thing is being considered. And by the way, this news clearly states, even the article states, that Aviation Ministry is just thinking over it and it has not decided. There is no final decision taken place behind that, so it's just in the thinking situation as per that as per this article. But even if it's so, I really think that any such thing won't be happening, and even if it would, it wouldn't be such a good decision. So you guys can relax. At least that is my personal intakes on this particular news. I hope that you got value and information out of this video. There was a quick informative, and a lot of you have been asking about this particular news, so that was my intake on this, my perspective. I'm not telling what is right or wrong, but just throwing my personal thinking on this particular news. I hope that any such thing doesn't happen. There already is a lot of pilots required in India, and a lot of aspirants, class 10 students and class 12 students keep texting me and DMing, asking about different things. So all of them will be heartbroken. I really hope any such thing doesn't happen. All the best to all the aspirants out there. Okay, keep your eyes open and keep yourself updated with the news, with the aviation industry. If any such thing happens, any major changes in aviation industry happens, rest assured that I'll be making a video on that, and I'll let you know about that particular change. All the best with you guys. I'll be coming up with another interesting video very soon. Until then, take care, keep preparing, be a good pilot, and happy landings.